They appear on our Facebook timelines and Twitter feeds, make us laugh or explode with rage, and then vanish. However, not all viral stories come to an end when the hashtag stops trending. Some continue to tick in the background, gradually becoming stranger until they deliver a bizarre twist when no one is looking. The Muslim family was barred from Disneyland for a good reason. A few days before Christmas, a story broke that seemed to demonstrate just how low the United States had sunk. A British Muslim family on their way to Disneyland was denied boarding at the last minute by U.S. officials. Their vacation plans were ruined, and the airline refused to refund their flight fees of $13,340. Commentators blamed the incident on the Trump effect, claiming that rising Islamophobia in America was to blame. A member of the opposition Labour Party in the United Kingdom even asked Prime Minister David Cameron to intervene. Following the initial uproar, a spokesperson for the Department of Homeland Security (DHS) issued a brief statement explaining why the family was denied entry. There were two solid reasons, far from being arbitrary. The first was that one of the family members had previously been denied entry to Israel, a country that has a good track record of tracking extremists. A second reason was that the family's teenage son had linked to terrorist websites directly from his Facebook account. The DHS simply did its job by burying the family. The kangaroo mourning his mate had probably just killed her. A heartwarming viral image managed to melt all of our hearts in the midst of the blizzard of gloom that characterized news in mid-January 2016. While their sad joy looked on, a male kangaroo cradled his dying mate's head in his arms. The media ate it up, referring to the marsupial family's grief and generally anthropomorphizing the kangaroos. All of this demonstrates how deceptive images can be. The male kangaroo was not mourning his dying mate, according to Dr. Derek Spielman, senior lecturer in veterinary pathology at the University of Sydney. He was attempting sex with her. Horny male kangaroos like to hold their mates in a protective manner, but is actually extremely stressful for the female. So stressful, in fact, that there's a good chance her friend's hug is what killed her. Spielman isn't certain about this last point, but it appears to be the most likely interpretation. That means that this heartwarming picture of grief was actually a photograph of a deranged sex killer killing his victim. The weasel riding the woodpecker was trying to kill it. A photograph of a weasel riding on the back of a woodpecker was one of the year's most surreal images. It not only looked like something out of a Disney buddy comedy that you might find on an old VHS in your grandmother's attic, but it was also ideal for photoshopping. Twitter had a great time creating mashups and cooing over the adorable wildlife couple. The woodpecker, on the other hand, probably didn't think it was cute at the time the photo was taken. The weasel was not its pal. It wasn't even a casual ride, it was doing everything it could to kill the woodpecker. Weasels are vicious creatures that will attack things much larger than themselves. When photographer Martin Lee-May was interviewed after his photograph went viral, he revealed that the woodpecker fled when the weasel tried to rip it to shreds. There were blurrier photos of a bird fighting for its life on either side of that adorable picture. Fortunately, the takeoff appeared to be sufficient. According to Lee-May, the two collided and the woodpecker escaped. The levitating cars were involved in a terrible accident. In late November 2015, a terrifying video of supernatural occurrences in China surfaced. Two vans parked at an intersection in the city of Xingtai were caught on camera being picked up and thrown on their sides by an unknown force. The video quickly went viral on conspiracy theory websites. Was it the work of a witch? Ghosts? Some telekinetic kid who was upset because her prom was ruined? As you might expect, the answer was something more mundane. A thick cable had been stretched across the road and was caught on opposing cars. But first, a quick recap. Something was overlooked in all of the coverage of the supernatural angle. All of the cars in the video had just been involved in a horrific accident. Although no one was killed, the two van drivers were thrown through the air. Anyone who has ever rolled their car will tell you that suddenly finding the road above your head and your wheels spinning in the air is a terrifying experience. The drivers were also unable to find solace in the fact that they had just survived an encounter with a poltergeist. Instead, they were nearly killed due to carelessness. Penn probably didn't leave Mexico to recapture El Chapo. A story broke in January 2016 that had all the hallmarks of a Hollywood blockbuster. Following his daring escape from a prison earlier this year, Sinaloa cartel leader El Chapo was finally apprehended by Mexican authorities. Their victory came from an unexpected source, actor-turned-activist Penn. Penn had recently interviewed El Chapo for a Rolling Stone profile, one which was largely considered terrible and little more than hagiography. El Chapo allegedly agreed to speak with Penn in the hopes that his life story would be made into a Hollywood film. According to the Mexican government, Penn's stupid decision to pay a visit to a wanted fugitive led them straight to El Chapo. Mexico had a PR victory, and Penn came out looking like a moron. This story, as good as it is, does not hold up under scrutiny. The timeline, as Vox later pointed out, does not support it. Penn spoke with El Chapo in November 2015. Mexico apprehended him in January 2016. Between those two dates, the government engaged El Chapo in a shootout at a ranch in Sinaloa, from which he escaped to go into hiding. As much as we'd like to believe that a Hollywood liberal was unintentionally responsible for the capture of a notorious drug lord with movie ambitions, the sad fact is that this version of events almost certainly did not occur. So these were some of the recent viral stories with unexpected twists. Make sure to subscribe to the channel and also hit that bell icon so that you don't miss any videos like this in the future. I'll see you in the next one.